Hi, and welcome back to the Travel Coach Network podcast. It is I, Sahar Rose DeVore, the founder of the Travel Coach Network and the creator and instructor of the Travel Coach Certification Program. Today's episode, I'm going to share with you 4 things that helped me make 6 figures and land a TEDx talk in 2022. The first one is forming my own beliefs and messaging. I've always been a big believer in being yourself, being who you are, following your own path, following your own heart, doing what you want to do, not what others tell you that you should, whether society, family, or anyone else. That includes forming your own opinions, ideas, and beliefs. After graduating from university in 2010, I didn't care about others' pressures to quote unquote settle down or quote unquote get a real job. I didn't want to climb the corporate ladder that was expected or to figure out my life right away, which is a question that I got quite often. When are you going to come back from your travels and figure out your life, right? You guys probably have gotten it as well. My journey around the globe has been the best decision that I've ever made. Within that journey, I continue to struggle to find my ideal career path. And maybe if you've already heard of me or heard my story, you've heard this before. But in that decade, like I said, I was really struggling to figure out my own career path and how to use my passion for travel. I never caved in though to anything that others were doing just because they said it was easy to do or that was proven or that made them money, because if it didn't interest me or align with how I value travel, I didn't want to do it. And I didn't want to be a travel agent. I didn't want to work in hotels. I didn't want to be a flight attendant. I didn't want to blog or write about travel. I didn't want to work for a company that quote unquote paid me to travel for business. None of those. And I said there had to have been something more. So I continued to follow my own path. When I started my own business in 2018 as a wellness travel coach, I still listened to my own gut on what I felt was right for me. And I didn't care what others were saying or doing or saying was possible or not possible or how things should be done. Even when you start a business in general, it can be really overwhelming. You're going to be bombarded with a bunch of different businesses and advisors and business coaches saying, this is what you have to do to make X amount of money in X amount of time, or this system works for me, or this platform works for me, or whatever it might be. That doesn't always mean it's going to work for you either. So you, again, have to listen to your gut and build your brand that is authentic to you. And this rolls over to my personal beliefs and that help shape my businesses. I always believe that there must be more to a travel career than if blogging and booking, and which is something you probably heard from me. I also believe that there wasn't a separation between wellness and travel. To me, they are one, and that the entire travel industry needed to be redeveloped into a tool to help people thrive in all aspects of their life, whether it's their well-being, their mindset, their relationships, their personal lives, their business lives, and more. So that was forming my own beliefs and messaging. And that's what I continue to do through my content, my social media, my articles, my speaking, my brand itself, everything. And that really does well for me. And there's no way that it couldn't do well for you either, because when you're your true self, yes, you're going to get a lot of no's anyways in business, but it's the yeses that you want anyways. You want the right people, the right audience, the right opportunities. So staying true to yourself and not caving in or shifting paths because you feel like your true self is not worth it. That's not right at all. So build a business that aligns with you and your passions. And the second thing is consistency. You have to try and try again. Keep on going, even when things are tough and stressful. I know they can be, especially if you're a solopreneur. Something that I've always done is when I put my mind to something and I say that I'm going to do it, I do it, whether it's for my personal goals or professional ones. Consistency is key. It's easier to give up, but it's way more rewarding when you work really hard for something and you get closer to your goal. And trust me, it's going to take time, which is okay. It's a journey, just like traveling. Business is a journey and it's a process. I first applied to be a TEDx speaker back in 2019, and I was turned down. And to be honest, I was really grateful for that. I know for a fact that my messaging, my ideas, my strategy, and my purpose for the TEDx talk that I gave this past October in 2022 would not have been even close to what or why I gave it than it had been in 2019. In those years between 2019 and 2022, my perspective, my strategy, my beliefs, my goals for my business, my vision for my business, all of that evolved over time and landed me with the opportunity now to really have a strategic opportunity to be a TEDx speaker to help with exposure and growing my brand and business. Everything has a purpose to it. Remember that. It's how you embrace and accept the process of the journey. As for my travel coaching business, if I had listened to the naysayers years ago and allowed them to dictate my destiny, I wouldn't be doing or making what I do today. So have a vision of some sort and go towards it. It will evolve, and that's okay. The next one is knowing my worth. I talk about imposter syndrome often in my travel coach network to my members because it's real. I once read an article that said that around 70-something% of people said of some sort that they experience imposter syndrome. Never have I ever wondered if I was qualified for something. Yeah, I mean, it crosses my mind, but to be honest, I've always been confident in what I put my mind towards. And it's not an ego thing. Instead, it's just a mindset of knowing that you are capable. And if you get turned down or you get a no, that's okay. And that rejection, the feeling of rejection, is a learning lesson as well. So everything you're going to do, if you put yourself out there, is going to give you a learning lesson, whether you realize it or not. And whether it was traveling solo to 84 countries, standing on a stage in front of a live audience and giving a TEDx talk, traveling the nation to attend massive conferences, to meet face to face with tourism and hospitality leaders and innovators that I'd been studying and then pitching to them, or creating digital products for travel professionals and companies, I know what my worth is. I know that I'm capable of doing it thanks to my expertise, my research, the mentors I work with, and my continuous learning. When it comes to my pay, I know what my time and expertise are and my value, and I ask for it. So remember, you can't get what you're looking for if you don't ask for it. If you are someone who's struggling with confidence and maybe imposter syndrome, I want you to work on your mindset. I want you to start doing affirmations and telling yourself that you are worthy, you are capable, and that everything that you're meant to have is going to come your way. But it not only is it manifesting, but you also have to put this all into action. If you never apply to be a TEDx speaker or speaker in general, or you can't get the opportunity, right? So you have to take action as well as shift your mindset. And remember, every no gets you closer to that yes, and that's exactly what you want. And then lastly is I kept up with my visibility. In 2022, I had reached over 130 plus media wins since starting my business, including being mentioned in articles like Forbes and Travel Weekly, Condé Nast Traveler, TripAdvisor, Nat Geo, India, Business Insider, Best Company, USA Today, and the Washington Post, and more. If you're in my travel coach network, you know how much I love and value visibility. I mean, what's better than free exposure in marketing, which is why I include in my work with my members trainings on how to pitch the media. But showing up, putting your message out there, reaching more people on a grander scale, speaking directly to your ideal audience, and getting visible in your business is essential to attracting and landing different opportunities and also landing clients, which rolls into hopefully sales. So I want you to think about what it is that your goals are for the new year in 2023, and ask yourself, are you forming your own beliefs and messaging? Are you being consistent with what you're doing and the content you're putting out there and the work you're putting into your business every day? Do you know your worth? Where is your mindset around that? Are you struggling with imposter syndrome? And if so, one, that's okay. And two, get a community like the Travel Coach Network to have accountability partners, to work with mentors and experts to work through that, because you will be able to overcome it. And lastly, what does your visibility look like? Are you pitching to the media? Are you being a guest on podcasts? Do you have a blog? Are you putting yourself out there? Are you showing up? Are you making people known of who you are and what you do? And if not, put that on your list of your to-dos for the new year. So be sure to follow us on Instagram at the Travel Coach Network. Learn more about us at thetravelcoachnetwork.com and send us a hello. We look forward to having you in our open Travel Coach Network global community on Facebook. The link for that and the free beginner's guide to travel coaching are all in the show notes. If you know anyone who may be interested in travel coaching, please be sure to send them our way to our podcast and our network. We truly appreciate it. And until next time, my fellow wanderers, bye for now.